The National Council of Indian Culture is hosting the Heritage Festival this year, of course, in May. Joining us is Deoroop Teemal, President of the National Council of Indian Culture. Good morning, Mr. Teemal, and welcome to the show.
Good morning. Namaskar to you and to the viewing audience of TTT. It is a pleasure to be with you all.
It's a pleasure to have you with us on the show to celebrate such a special month. Let's get straight into the conversation. Mr. Teemal, what is the theme for this year's Heritage Festival?
Yeah, the theme we have chosen, Natasha, is Charai Veti, and the English translation of those Hindi terms is to keep moving, to keep walking. And the theme was chosen in honor of the Indian forefathers who were dynamic, not static. They always kept moving, trying to achieve, trying to build, so that the message is that despite whatever circumstances and challenges we may have, we have to keep moving. We have to keep trying, never giving up.
A suitable message, of course, as we see as the years go by, the power of culture continues to remain strong thanks to things such as the Heritage Festival, which is taking place. What events can we look forward to this month, Mr. Teemal?
Yes, well, Natasha, what we are doing this year with the festival, we started this event a couple of years ago. And every year we are growing the festival. We hope in a couple of years' time we would reach a sort of peak and fulfill the objectives of the festival. So this year we are having a range. Of course, we'll have our normal cultural programs. We have 5 cultural programs that are planned that reflects the variety of the within the heritage musical traditions. So we'll have like the local classical singing or dance singing, a program dedicated to that. We'll have a program where we'll be looking at the traditional Ramayana chanting. And then, of course, we'll have grand cultural shows. We are having a night of dance, particularly because dance is exceedingly popular here in Trinidad and Tobago, and a night of traditional chutney. But other than the cultural programs, the song and the music and the dance, we are exploring the intellectual academic traditions. We have partnered with the University of Trinidad and Tobago on an existing MOU that we have with them. And for the very first time in the world, I must say, we would be exploring something that is, in its current form, is indigenous to the Trinidad and Tobago, which is the local classical Indian singing or tan singing, or as it's called in other countries of the Caribbean, Baita Ghana. So we will be having an academic conference on this aspect of the culture. And in fact, we have had an overwhelming response. We'll have almost 36 presentations during this conference. This is over this coming weekend here. And in addition to the conference, of course, we'll be exploring the literary arts. There's a poetry festival that is scheduled during the month where we'll have a competition for, submittal of poems. We'll have display of poetry, the books that have been written by local authors on the Indo-Trinbagonian experience. And also, for the first time, we'll be having a food festival. We'll be looking at not so much the food that we are accustomed to at Diwali Nagar, which is very wide-ranging, but we're focusing on the heritage foods and some of the traditional recipes that have died out. So we have selected 14 specific heritage foods that will be sort of reintroducing back into the culinary scene in Trinidad and Tobago. So the public visiting would be able to know what food is like adori, sarabara, some of these things, particularly aimed at educating the public and particularly our young people about some of the heritage foods. So it will be there prepared, samples will be available. Those who want to purchase can take it away. And then, of course, we'll be having a feature in the food festival where the foods are being cooked on the chulha, the fireside, and people will be able to share in that experience.
It's excellent to see, of course, traditions being brought back as well. And hopefully we're going to be able to engage with you on these dishes and a lot of the other events that are taking place. Now, one of the things that you mentioned, Mr. Teemal, is, of course, this being open to the public. But you've mentioned so many other things, from the dancing to the literary festival, stakeholders such as UTT. So how do people get involved? Do they need to register, follow you on social media? What exactly is the process?
Right. Well, we have started doing a lot of postings, particularly on social media. We'll also be on the airwaves of some of the radio stations with advertisements, and also television advertisements. And hopefully, with the engagement of TTT, we'll be able to spread the message. But more detailed information will be available through our social media pages, Facebook and Instagram in particular, and also on our website. So if you just Google NCIC, you will be able to, it will come up in the top couple of search results. You can always log into our website. There are details for registration for the events. And we don't want that to be a deterrent in terms of having to register. All our events are free to the public. We do have extensive car park. There may be a bit of traffic to get in due to the surrounding businesses at the Diwali Nagar. All programs are at the Diwali Nagar. And we are really looking to engage in the public throughout the month, and looking forward to the support from the public for the work that is being done with this Heritage Festival.
Definitely a festival that we know is going to be enjoyed by the public as well, just showcasing the beauty of Trinidad and Tobago, multicultural, so diverse, and the fact that we're all able to come and participate and learn a little bit more. Mr. Teemal, what is one thing that you would like participants to take away from the celebrations this month?
I think that despite that it's 179 years since the indentured forefathers came to Trinidad, and we are fifth and sixth generations away from that, there are still many powerful lessons and appropriate lessons that we can learn from their experience. And despite the length of time, learning from their experience and is still very beneficial to us and still contemporary for the challenges that we face as a nation. Secondly, I think in terms of the diversity of Trinidad and Tobago, the more we understand each other, the more we would learn to respect each other, the more we build national harmony in our country. And the Heritage Festival, in fact, one of the main objectives of the Heritage Festival, other than honoring the ancestors of the past and the culture, is really to educate and provide, put knowledge out there, disseminate knowledge, minimize the stereotyping that that prevails. Look at the essence of the experience. And particularly, we are hoping that our youth, our young people, would be able to understand, the history and the heritage, and it all goes towards building a better nation as we move forward. We are a young nation, but we are on the right track, I think, in terms of managing our diversity and benefiting from the diversity, because how diversity is managed, it could either be an asset or it could be a setback. So once harnessed positively, I think it will make a tremendous contribution to our nation building.
We are on the right track. Thank you so much for that, Mr. Teemal, and thank you for joining us this morning. Wishing you and your team all the best. And we right here on the Now Morning Show are going to ensure that we celebrate all month long with you. Have an excellent day.
Thank you very much.
Speaking about what's going to be happening this May, National Council for Indian Culture is celebrating Indian Heritage Month, and we're going to be celebrating here too. You can get more information at www.ncictt.com. Stay tuned. After this break, we'll be right back.